Ohio State lost. The only team from the Big Ten that won today was Purdue. They avoided the infamy of being the only conference in the history of the NCAA tournament to have 5 teams lose on the same day. Big Ten, 2 teams make it to the Sweet 16. We have 11 seed Michigan and 3 seed Purdue. The SEC, we thought they had 4 of the top 10 teams in the country. Kentucky's gone. Tennessee is gone. Arkansas has made it to the Sweet 16, and Auburn lost today. So, Sweeney, I'm putting you on the spot here. Which conference was the bigger fraud, the SEC or the Big Ten?
I think the Big Ten, probably because I think the losses at the top for I still believe that the SEC had elite teams this year. Like I really do. I think Kentucky was never the Kentucky of February 1st again. Auburn was never the Auburn of January 20th again. But those teams at their peaks were really unbelievably good basketball teams. And look, I think Tennessee had a real chance to beat Michigan. They were right there in that game. It was a real true 50-50 game. They just didn't quite make enough shots, and they go home. There were 4 really outstanding teams.
I want to say one thing real quick on that.
Go ahead.
This whole Rick Barnes can't win in March narrative has been popping up again. Tennessee shot 2 for 17 on threes, and I would say that probably 12 of those 17 threes were what you would classify as good looks.
Absolutely. I was courtside. I mean, they were great shots. They just didn't make them. There were 4 elite teams this year. They didn't perform. The Big Ten, I think it was pretty clear to me before that there weren't elite teams in this league. And Illinois proved it by looking a little bit overmatched by Houston. Iowa proved it by losing to Richmond. I mean, it was a bad tournament for the Big Ten. It was again. I mean, I'm a Big Ten guy. I think the league is fun to watch. I think the talent level has gotten better and better. But at some point, you got to win these games. And the Big Ten has had 50-50 games in this tournament, and they have lost a lot of them. And they had 50-50 games in last year's tournament. They lost a lot of them.
T.O., the Big Ten is the only conference in the country, regardless of the level, the only league in basketball in the United States of America where it's normal to play 2 big guys and centers that can't play out on the perimeter. Do they need to modernize?
That's what I was going to get to.
Hold on.
What? Go ahead.
I don't think that that's actively true.
No, Sweeney.
Can we
Sweeney,
don't come at Doster with facts. Don't come.
No.
I mean, we're gonna go through here and just go through all the Big Ten teams that just don't play 2 true bigs, or at least play a 4 you can shoot.
No, go ahead, T.O.
Here's my thing, Sweeney, and I think in order to win in the Big Ten, it's not necessarily conducive to win in the NCAA tournament because you have to play a certain type of style to win in the Big Ten, which in the NCAA tournament, you have to space it out a little bit more. You got to be faster and you got to be physical. Now, the physical part they've got covered, but the aircraft carriers that a lot of these teams have, the really good teams have, they don't match up well with opposing teams, right? Like the Kofi Coburns, it's tough. And the SEC has been more disappointing for me because they fit that billing so well and they just weren't able to get it done. I think there's kind of a built-in excuse with the Big Ten, in my opinion, because it's a lot less of an athletic league. It's not a very athletic league when you look at it compared to the other Power 6. The SEC.
Let me sum this up for you, T.O. The Big Ten is fraudulent. The SEC disappointing. The SEC should have done better than they did. Right?
They should.
Is that fair to say?
I don't know that fraudulent's the right word. I think that we know what the Big Ten is, so I'm not sure they're defrauding anybody. But my thing is the SEC fit the billing of where I thought they could have won a lot of games.
Again, I'm sorry to correct you. The Big Ten is what you and I thought they were. It's not what Kevin Sweeney, noted Big Ten homer, thought that they were.
Is that fair?
Is that fair to say?
I've never carried water that the league is going to get a Final Four team this year. I never thought that. I never thought there was until I saw the bracket and I said, "Holy shit! Iowa's got the easiest draw." And then
you know what?
But not athletic. So when they weren't hitting shots, they couldn't move.
I mean, Iowa has that's where Keegan Murray and Chris Murray and Joe Toussaint and Tony Perkins. They're not unathletic.
Yeah, but they're not usually playing them all together.
No,
they don't play. They don't play any defense. You know what's funny about that though, Sweeney? Purdue. They got to be the favorite, the overwhelming favorite to make it to the Final Four out of the East region at this point, right?
I don't know if I'd say overwhelming because I think UCLA is quite good.
Yeah.
But
I
mean,
UCLA just got bored with the regular season. Was like, can we please get to the tournament to be great?
I mean, Purdue though, getting St. Peter. I mean, look, all respect to St. Peter's, all respect to Shaw. They've done an unbelievable job. That said, they're going to get waxed. Like they're going to get waxed by Purdue. How do they hang? How do they hang? They play 6'7" skinny bigs. How do they hang? I don't care what you scheme up. Jimmy's and Joe's.
Who's Kentucky's 5-man?
6'9" Oscar Tshiebwe.
And what was he this year?
What was he? What was he?
What was he?
Player of the year? I mean,
he was a national player of the year.
I feel some Jersey homer seeping
what
out
was
your pores right
what
now.
was Sheway's line in the St. Peter's game?
He had 30 and 16.
30 and 16. Okay, so when the national player of the year goes for 30 and 16, and you could still beat a team in Kentucky that I think all of us would agree was probably better than Purdue this year, then why can't you beat Purdue too?
Because stylistically, the game is completely different. The way that this game is going to be played, I mean, look, I would like nothing more than to watch St. Peter's win that game. I just like, I don't know how they match up. I don't know how they stay in front of Ivy. You know, Purdue's going to be much more happy to play this game in the half court than Kentucky was. Kentucky could never get Wheeler getting downhill. Purdue has shooters who are going to make it difficult because, you know, St. Peter's, their biggest defensive principle is pack the paint. And what happens when Purdue shooters get going? Like whatever the number is, I'll bet Purdue.